The last part that we're going to talk about is cell homeostasis. Now, cell homeostasis has both a passive transport and an active transport. Now, a passive transport, does this require ATP? And if you remember correctly, an ATP is also known as energy. And ATP in passive transport, it does not need energy. Why doesn't passive transport need energy? Because passive transport, basically what it's doing, it's restoring order within the cells. And it doesn't really need energy to do this. So osmosis, what molecules go through osmosis? Now osmosis, if you think about it, only deals with water. So the molecule that goes through osmosis is water. Now let's go ahead and put that in bold. Okay, do the molecules go from low to high or from high to low? Now during osmosis, they actually go from low to high. So it goes from low to high. Okay, and then it says, what is the reason why molecules go through osmosis? Now, molecules go through osmosis to maintain homeostasis by adding space to the crowded ions. Now, what it's doing is it's adding space to the crowded ions, so that's why it goes from low to high. All right, so simple diffusion. What molecules go through simple diffusion? So both carbon dioxide and oxygen go through simple diffusion. Do the molecules go from low to high or from high to low? In simple diffusion, it goes from high to low. So it goes from a crowded cells to more even out. So they're trying to go from a bunch of cells all together to low cells so that the cells can even themselves out. Now, what is the reason why molecules go through simple diffusion? They go through simple diffusion to go to a less crowded area, what I just said. Now, we have facilitated diffusion. So what molecules go through facilitated diffusion? And if you remember what we said in class, facilitated means that it has to go through that protein barrier, the protein tunnel. So the molecules that go through this are glucose. Let's go ahead and undo that. Which is also sugar. Now, does it go from low to high or high to low? Again, it goes from high to low. Now, what's the reason why molecules go through facilitated diffusion? It goes through facilitated diffusion because it needs to transport through protein. Now, why protein? Because protein likes both water and sugar. So the glucose or the sugar has to go through a protein channel to get through the membrane, and the reason why is because protein likes both water and sugar. So active transport. Does active transport need ATP? Yeah, it needs the energy. Okay, so it needs energy to pump. It needs energy to pump the different cells, or actually the different molecules. Now, active transport. What molecules go through active transport? So that's both potassium and sodium. Sodium is also known as salt. So do the molecules go from low to high or from high to low? They go from low to high. Now, what is the reason why molecules go through active transport? The reason why molecules go through active transport is cells sometimes have to pass through using energy. Okay, now if you think about it, sodium is salt, and salt actually dissolves in water. So it needs to have that energy because it can't do it on its own. So it needs active transport. It needs ATP, or that energy, to pump it through the cell membrane. Now, endocytosis. Explain what the prefix endo means. Endo means in. That's what it means. So explain the process of endocytosis. It's taking in vesicles. And if you remember what vesicles is, vesicles are proteins. So vesicles move protein. So endocytosis, it takes in protein, or it takes in vesicles. Now exocytosis is, exo means out. So explain the process of exocytosis. Exocytosis is the taking out of vesicles. And what do vesicles do? Vesicles move protein. So basically, vesicles move the protein, or they take the protein out of the cell membrane. Okay, so that is basically passive and active transport.